a normal fade flat with really standard splits is one that we always carried. But what we found, and what I think make the nuance of this that to me makes this different than standard splits, is compressed splits version of this is what we went 100% with in 2022. And what it does is it really defines the defensive coverage structure to that side of the call. It really simplifies it for the quarterback and the receivers, and it also the way that it expresses itself, it puts enough pressure on the defense that the way that they're going to defend it is quickly defined to the quarterback, and that allows them to process and get the ball out either to your vertical or to your flat control, or it gives them the information that they'll need to progress backside away from it. And similarly to our smash stuff, we don't really ever dual call this as this picture is displayed. So if we were calling this on the left, we would have something tagged to it. And you can just start with a simple, Y cross air raid type of concept. So it allows to go in this picture from left to right. And again, if you've watched our smash operation, it fits directly into it. But I would advise that we've kind of gone away from the base split fade flat, because what we found is it tends to get matched out a little bit, easier from both the corner and that apex defender's position where they're really in the hip pocket. And to me, what makes this one unique is when we compress the splits, what we teach the outside receiver is we want to spray our vertical instead of running a straight vertical, which really is going to expand corner. All right. And we want to chase the outside hip. It is a MOR, mandatory outside release fade. We have to get outside to really put the stress on them. And what that does a lot of times is it what we call lifts the corner and then allows us for an easy jump in to the speed out underneath of it. The key details that we coach with this speed out is we want to get as much of a vapor trail or of a follow as possible, really make them have to communicate the release of this. And at the end of the day, like I said, you're landing in the same landmarks you would from a standard split, but the compressed splits, the spraying of the routes and the vapor trail really allows the definition of what they're trying to do to it, whether it be a trap, whether it be a quarters, whether it be a cover three, or not as often in these compressed splits, but if it was man, it's really defined quickly for you and the quarterback so they can make their decision. But this also, this spray vapor trail also oftentimes acts as a shield for this, fade flat. For if we can get this corner to have to lift and open, we can dump this thing out as soon as they come off of that vapor trail. We can get the ball to the flat control, and then this guy can essentially operate as a blocker for this, and in that manner, kind of plays out as a perimeter screen type of throw for you. So again, like I said, very simple. This off season, whenever I talk to guys, and it's not that we made this up, it's not that it's a new concept or something that we found at Mount St. Joe, but the efficiency with it and the simplicity that it provides you and the quarterback. I told every single coach about, hey, if you run compressed splits, you need to run the fade flat. It's going to yield really positive results. It's going to provide high efficiency numbers for you. It operates as a great frontside concept, and it protects itself in the sense of being able to read it out and throw the ball to your vertical, flat control, or progress backside if that's what you choose to do. The other thing you'll see in some of these videos here is we will get to it a bunch of different ways. We will down motion to it, or the one that you're going to see Travis Kelce operate quite a bit. We will cross motion to it as well, and really just have a handful of ways to get the same concept. At the end of the day, it is we want to reduce our splits. We want to attack the outside hip of the corner. We want to spray that release with a 45-degree angle or whatever is necessary to capture the outside shade of the corner. And then we want to vapor trail into it, rolling into a speed out at 5 yards no higher. You can come down to 4 probably, but anything below is gonna, I don't like throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage below 4 yards, just in case this apex defender is in the hip pocket and tackles us. I want to make sure the minimum is 4. Ideally, we're getting 5 out of this call every single time. And like I said, it's a day one teach for you. Fade flat is probably in most every playbook to some degree, whether it's an RPO tag, quick game tag, or some combination of the two. So having another variation of it that, to me, I found to have a much higher success rate than standard splits fade flat, to me is a critical but easy implementation into any offensive operations. But that said, let's watch some film here. And we're going to operate this at the bottom of the screen, and you can see from the get-go, we're getting that classic quarters zone triangle with the off corner. All right, safety out on the hash, and then we have an apex defender who's going to blitz, which opens up it even more. Where now that they're going to have this will match, who takes a vertical drop. Okay, and the way that they want to exchange it with this blitz is essentially an invert technique. All right, where this safety is going to have to come from depth into the hip pocket, and you can see the quarterback does a great job sticking his right foot in the ground, driving this ball. We always talk about putting this on the outside shoulder, all right, in a position for our guy to be able to run after the catch. Obviously, if you get it to a really good player, okay, we're going to get 5 off of this no matter what, and we're going to be able to get more because we got the ball to a really good playmaker quickly in space. You can see the outside receivers driving the backside hip, and then it operates as a blocker after we have gotten the ball to the flat control. So just a nice, easy catch. This is a pretty good defensive exchange, but with the safety having to come from depth, still playing on the back hip, we have that ability to throw. So even if they make a really nice open tackle here, we're going to be able to get 5 yards off of it. Next clip, I really like this one as well. This is another really classic zone triangle. They're getting into a 1 high cover 3 structure, so they have a flat player, but the flat player lifts. Hey, this is a great vapor trail. This is a great spray MOR by our outside receiver. All right, and this is a great job ducking out from under that. And when this apex flat defender operates with verticality first, it's just going to give us what we call a free flat that we want to access as many times as possible in as many different ways. You can see we've attached a backside concept to it that we could progress to. If this flat defender were to push, we have a whole shot opportunity back shoulder throw because of the cover 3 technique by the corner. But I think the quarterback does a great job of getting to taking his rocker step, sticking his foot in the ground, throwing this thing on the outside shoulder, and allowing our receiver to run after the catch. And it looks like we're in a 1st and 15 situation, and we not only get our 5 back, but we cut the chains in half and put us into a much more manageable kind of distance situation going forward. Here's a great look at it. All right. A couple things I'd say too that we've discovered, and it's going to be critical in the next concept we talk about, is when we do these compressed splits, we used to do compressed splits where they were very, very tight. And that does give you more space to the sideline. But what that really does when you're too tight is bails out this apex defender where they can play the box and play over top of your inside receiver, which really allows them to get in the hip pocket and match out any flat routes much easier. So what we've talked about is we want to have air in between the tackle and our receiver. Okay, this is a great look right here. We want to have air in between the 2 receivers in our compressed split. So they are compressed by nature, but they're not tightened down inside the box. This is a great view of the spacing that we want to utilize, and you can see how this plays out here with the vapor trail. It looks like it's going to be a switch vertical type release, okay, and then we just duck out at 5 yards, and the quarterback does a great job of catching, rolling his drop to that side because he knows he wants to go there, and by pre-snap alignment, as long as this corner lifts, which he does on the snap, it's going to give us a free throw to it. And you can see the spacing we've gotten here. We have our front side concept We have our backside concept attacking the middle of the field, and then we have our fourth in progression, controlling the backside flat.